Well, good Sunday evening, everyone. Welcome to Unapologetic Tea Time with your host, PG. That is me. Good Sunday evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing as well as you can. Hope that you have your game plans in place, you have provisions in place. Uh, Guys and gals, boys and girls, this is this is unreal what we're facing here as a nation and as citizens of the United States, as well as this is a global problem. It is not just, unfortunately, it is not just us, it's everywhere. And what I'm talking about, if you're clueless, I'm talking about the COVID 19, or as you very well know, the coronavirus. I have not been on in a bit. I have been taking care of myself and some tests that I needed to get done. That happens pretty much the first part of every year or every other year, and some other little things that kind of popped up um, that I needed to make certain that I was a-okay and as well as I can be with the few health issues that I do have. So I have always been transparent with you guys, and I have no reason not to be as we speak right now. But that is what's been going on, and not really that has been keeping me offline. It's just a matter of putting things into perspective, trying to cope with the anxiety that I have about the virus, and knowing that one of my health issues is a respiratory issue, and this could potentially be deadly for me and many other people. Some people don't even realize they have underlying conditions, but I do, because I try to keep abreast of my health as best that I can. Um, so trying to put things into perspective, trying to uh, make a list and checking it twice and all that, and just trying to stay focused on what I need to focus on for my well-being and my safety at this time. And I have some concerns for some really near and dear close friends. Um, and like the old saying goes, like the airline flight attendants. If you've ever flown before, they always tell you to put on your mask first and make yourself safe, and then you can go on and about your way and try to assist and help others. And so that's what I've been doing. Um, I've been putting on my mask first, basically in I guess you could call it an analogy, but I've been, making sure that I'm taken care of, and so that I could best try to assist or help others if need be, and if the need arises. And that's where I am. But in no shape or form have I given up on my YouTube channel or anything of that nature. It's just been an uphill battle for me, as well as I guess everybody else. If you are staying abreast of the news as much as you can, excuse me, stomach, and trying to focus on your family and your daily life, and what this could mean potentially for you and your family, um, going about your daily living and trying to garner the necessary supplies that one may need for his or her family, or just yourself if you are a loner like myself, in order to be able to be self-sufficient if the need arises. And unfortunately, guys and gals, I've been preaching to the choir. I've been preaching this not even when I was on YouTube, but well long before. And I think that this is what we preppers would call when the shit hits the fan. And I think this is, y'all, I think this is one of those times where the world that as we know it right now will probably be forever changed. And in what shape, form, or fashion, the PG can't tell you. Unapologetic Tea Time can't tell you. But it's just in my gut feeling that the world as we know it today will be forever changed in some way. Whether it affects you, whether it affects a neighbor, a loved one, or someone you know, or someone inadvertently, or a group of people inadvertently, it's a sad situation because this could potentially be truly a domino effect. And what I mean by domino effect is you have people that may contract this virus. Um, you have cities and states that are ramping up their safety network and what it is that they have to do in order to keep their citizens and residents as safe as they can. And probably some of that's going to be sheltering in place, making certain that people stay home, not being able to go out and about. So I'm going to remind you to please get the necessary supplies that you and or your family will need if you are able to find them. Make sure you have some of your medicines, all of your medicines if you can, especially prescription meds. Please don't run out. Don't take it to the very last pill, because truly we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, or next week for that matter. Try to get an ample supply of fresh drinking water, bottled water if you can. If you don't believe in going out and buying bottled water or whatever, just try to save yourself. Remember the 3 threes that I told you about. That's 3 minutes without fresh air or air. That's 3 days without water and 3 weeks without food. Some will perish before 3 weeks because they are not physically able to sustain 3 weeks without food for whatever health reasons and issues they may have. So remember the 3 threes, y'all. That's not a very long period without food and without water and without clean, fresh air. So you do whatever it takes to get yourself comfortable enough to have whatever it is that you perhaps need on hand. Myself personally, y'all, I have provisions here, but as I've been taking note and taking a little inventory of what I have, I'm starting to question whether I have enough, whether it will last me long enough to outlast whatever's going on. So I don't know. I have some questions in the back of my mind that's kind of daunting, and it's kind of haunting me because it's the fear of the unknown. We're okay with what we do know, but it's that algebraic equation that I know what X is, but I'm not certain what Y is. And then I have Z in parentheses, so I'm not certain. I have to figure it out, and I'm working it out, but at the same time, I still find myself coming up short, if you guys can go into that analogy. But with that being said, the title of today's topic, or today's um, live, is Are We Safe? Yes, no, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. What I have that is scrolling towards the bottom of the screen, I have listed a couple things. The CDC.gov is an agency, of course, that you can go to garner information, fluid information. WHO.int.international, which is the World Health Organization. And of course, every state and local government where you live or reside has some type of a website. And I'm sure that because of the coronavirus, they are working feverishly to keep up with those updates to their websites to put out news and information for your local area that you reside in and your state. So you may want to peruse through those websites that are scrolling at the bottom of the screen that I have for your information and your research pleasure, to help give you some perhaps answers to some questions that you may have, that you may be able to find those answers to on those sites. I'm trying any way that I can to assist in any way that I can as far as um, information, discernible information, good information, and trying to put it out there on my blog. And my blog is www.unapologetic-time with pg.com. And you can go there and you can find some up-to-date information, helpful tips and things that you may not have considered yet. You may consider. I have some suggested lists of some things that you can purchase, or some things that you may go through your home, apartment, or wherever you live, or whatever you live in, and find some of those things that you can check off that you may already have on hand and maybe have forgotten that you had it, but you can get it out and make certain that you know where these important items are for your safety. It's unfortunately, y'all, been in the news constant, because as I learned today, which is Sunday, the coronavirus is spreading, and it looks like it's I don't know. I can't say that it's slowing down any, from what I'm seeing. The only thing that I can say, y'all, is looks like it's speeding up in some areas, and in some areas not so much as others. So I don't know what is causing the influx in certain areas of the country, and then abroad, I don't know what's causing certain fuel to the fire, that's where the virus is rapidly spreading. I'm not sure what factors are leading into that and what's what, but I say all of that to say this. As of today, um, the outbreak of the virus is continuing to spread. We know that. And the infections, here in the US, are on the rise, unfortunately. There are now a little more than 500 cases of the virus, um, here stateside in the US of A, according to local health agencies, and governments, and according to the CDC. Around the globe, so far, the virus itself, y'all, has killed approximately, well, let's say over 3,500 people, and has affected over 105,000 currently. The the thing that I fear the most is, how are we going to contain it? How are we going to get it, like, perhaps slow down? I mean, is there an answer? So far, no one seems to know. Scientists I know are working feverishly. In fact, a lot of epidemiologists, virologists, biologists, and just many, many more medical professionals and scientific individuals are working around the clock, because everybody wants to be that person or that particular party or entity that saves the day, that saves the country, or saves lives, with invention of something that would curtail the virus or keep it at bay, and or destroy it totally, or whatever. But so far, right now, there's nothing. This virus has been known to be in a mutation process, and it's been mutating, not as rapidly as they had first said, but still mutation, of its changing its characteristics, is very concerning, because how can you develop a vaccine, or how can you develop medications for something of this nature, when in fact, if it's affecting more and more people, and then as it does so, it's changing its properties altogether. So what you had in the petri dishes perhaps isn't the same thing as you finish your experiment and go to inject those cells with medicines that you have developed perhaps in the laboratories for testing, are no longer even going to remotely be effective because of the mutation process. So I don't know, guys and gals, with that being said, how this is going to play out. But all I do know is I'm asking each and every one of you who will happen, excuse me, upon this YouTube vlog, um, who will share this vlog with family and friends or what have you, that you do whatever it takes to make certain that you do have provisions in place. You do have a game plan if you have children and grandchildren that you keep, or you have school age children or babies or whatever, that you have a plan of action if those schools close or those daycare centers have to close suddenly. What will you do? Will you be forced to take off if your job, you know, lays you off or says we're going to have to close because of the virus? What are you going to do? Do you have something available on hand? Can you get to maybe your savings, maybe your 401? What will you do? The time is now to think about all of this and not wait until something drastic happens, because when and if this happens, then you may not be able to get to the bank. You may not be able to go out to the the ATM machine, or you may not be able to run over to Walmart and purchase a few groceries and get some cash back, or wherever you go or whatever you do. You may not be able to run over to Smith's Grocery or um, HEB, or Kroger or Winn-Dixie or whomever, ShopRite or whatever. So I'm just saying, um, we got to do what we got to do as citizens of this great nation, um, to help save ourselves as best we can. And with that being said, you're going to need water. You're going to need an ample supply of some type of food, whether it's canned goods, whether it's a combination of frozen goods, canned goods, dry goods, whatever. Let's try to make sure we have something, y'all, on hand. I know that it's critical. A lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck or whatever, but try to take out a few extra dollars if you can and purchase a few extra canned goods and stuff to have on hand. Try to make sure you have the staples that every pantry should have. That's potatoes, that's rice, that's beans, that's sugar, that's salt, pepper, something to season with, maybe some honey, butter, flour, um, cornmeal, oats, grains, things of that nature. So that if you need to go back to the old way and make a pan of cornbread without popping open some Jiffy Mix, you'll be able to do that. Some butter, some shortening, or some vegetable oil, and some, just think about some basic stuff. Some of this stuff, spend $10 or $15 and you can get it at the Dollar Tree, or wherever you go. Or if you have to go to a food bank or food pantry or whatever, maybe they have some of the stuff that you can check off your list as well. I mean, I don't care how you get it. I'm just saying, just get it, you know, just, don't go out and steal it, but, try to see if, cousins and sisters and brothers or neighbors or whomever have ample supply, and maybe they don't have a lot of some of the things that you have, and maybe you can trade. Now is the time to definitely do that, in order to try to get some of the things that we all necessarily need in order to be able to survive for a period of time. They've said, just recently I heard a discussion on CNN just recently, I think it was Thursday or Friday of last week, saying that they're hoping that summer comes really, really fast, or hot, warm weather comes really, really, really fast to perhaps slow this virus down. I don't know if it's going to slow down. Who knows? One scientist said, yeah, perhaps, and two more said, the weather itself, or the season of the year, didn't was not going to have anything to do with this virus. So I don't know, but I'm hoping for the I'm praying for the best, but preparing for the worst. That's all I can do. And that's all I can try to encourage you guys and gals to do, you boys and girls. And I don't mean boys and girls like little kids. I'm talking, just the saying, boys and girls. But, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Like a Boy Scout would do, be prepared, like a good Girl Scout would always do, and that's be prepared, one way or another. Um, there's there's been some isolated incidences. There's a ship that's supposed to be docking off the coast of California with thousands of people. That's including passengers and crew members. They're supposed to get these people off of the ship in a few days, I guess. Where actually they're going to put them or place them, I'm not sure. How they're going to go about the additional testing, I'm not sure. That's another thing that you might want to stay abreast about, is the testing. What your city, county, or state government agencies are doing as far as local testings where you are. Make sure that you are knowing or checking out on a website like the CDC or the World Health Organization, or your local, state, and county government's websites about the known symptoms that this virus is causing in people, so that you are aware. So if you have yourself come down all of a sudden with these symptoms, and that that it's not asymptomatic of just a cold or whatever, that you can get yourself the necessary help that's needed before it goes further. Please make sure you know the symptoms. If you need to go to the library, maybe print it out if you don't have a printer. Print out a couple of copies. I think copies at the library are still 10 cents, maybe 20 cents now. Maybe run off a couple of copies if you can, or ask a neighbor who may have a printer, or if you go to work and there's a printer, ask your boss if you can print out some information, or if they don't want you to use the computer, then ask them, can they do it for you, and place that on your refrigerator door, or on your bathroom door, somewhere where you and your family members can see. Maybe call a little family meeting, y'all, if you can, and go over these necessary things, so that everyone is aware. Continue to wash your hands. I'm not saying excessively to make them dry and literally so dry they dry out so until they start to crack and bleed, but wash your hands. Try to keep your hands out of your face as best you can. Um, try to curtail from shaking hands and hugging and being really close with people. Maybe you want to take a social vacation. And what I mean by a social vacation is to kind of slack off from large groups of people, large crowds, large venues that you may frequent, like concerts or whatever, or big activities or festivals and fairs. We're coming up on in the springtime where there's a lot of fairs and festivals that'll be kicking off. Some of these activities are being canceled across the nation. I don't know, and I'm pretty sure that eventually a lot more will follow through with cancellations. Maybe cancellations and redoing the dates at a later time, a later date or whatever, or rescheduling, who knows. But if it wasn't important, or if it wasn't vital to the health of the American people, I don't think that these organizations and festival administrators and organizers and what have you, and concert organizers would be canceling those events if it wasn't vital to the health of the American people. So you want to take heed. I know that you may have paid money for certain things or bought advance tickets perhaps for these events, but hopefully and prayerfully you can at least try to get a refund or credit or a ticket for a future date or something, so that you haven't, lost completely out on your money. Um, Also, just a word of caution or a tip is when you are purchasing things of that nature, try to do it on a credit card because you have a lot more um, oomph behind you when you purchase via credit card than just a debit card. You have a credit card company usually will go to bat for you. Sometimes a debit card, won't cover, but I think it's what is it, $50 or something, depending on what institution that you bank with as well. But credit cards are a little bit different. They seem to have a little bit more clout, a little bit more power, where it comes to the consumer, especially you paying your bills on time and what have you, and you're a good customer. They try to, help you out when things arise like this. So it's always best to pay by credit card anyway when you're doing that. Y'all, there's a lot of stuff that I could cover, that I could talk about as far as the virus, y'all. But myself personally, I'm fucking burnt out on the virus. Um, I'm just burnt, slapped the fuck out. I'm nervous. I don't know, like I said, myself personally, if I have enough items, and trust me, I do have a nice stash, but I'm not certain if it's enough. I don't know. I don't know how long, if they say we got to hold up in our homes and businesses or homes and apartments and condos or whatever, how long will that be? That's the uncertainty and that's the unknown element that worries me, kind of, if I have enough supplies, a part of me wants to go out and buy up a whole bunch more stuff if I could find it. But then, I'm not certain. I can only hold so much, without disrupting, my daily living. But I mean, I don't know. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section on YouTube and here on StreamYard in the comments of what you're doing to try to build your stockpile as best you can in lieu of this virus potentially. Hey, PG, I'm good. So far, so good. I'm just a little nervous, Tim. Just a little nervous. Um, but yeah, let me know what you guys plan to do and how you're doing it. And, are you nervous? Do you have anxiety about the coronavirus? Do you think you have enough water? Do you think you have enough food? If they say you can't go in or out, what are you going to do? Let me know. I'd love to hear some comments. Thank you, Tim. I'd love to hear some comments about that. Whether or not you think you have enough supplies to last you. If they shut your city or your local area that you live in down, what would you do? Would you, or do you have to go out and purchase something? But the time to prepare is right now. The time to be purchasing items. If you can afford to purchase water and soap and um, over the counter medicines and food and whatever. That's now. It's not after the fact. It's right now. Um, I don't know what else to say. Yep. Hand sanitizer is out everywhere, across the nation. I don't recommend people using uh vodka and drinking alcohol though to make hand sanitizer. There is some recipes that's floating out there. The one that I knew of that that can be made, and I think we made some with the Boy Scouts, was the aloe gel, the aloe vera gel, and the isopropyl alcohol. But right now, to be honest, the 99% isopropyl alcohol that we use and stuff. I have 2 bottles, thank God. One is because I use 99% and with a dilution rate to clean certain little antiques and collectibles up without harming them. And that's why I have one extra bottle, but one bottle is just to keep on hand. Uh, that isopropyl alcohol, the 99%, will work without the aloe vera, but it's going to dry your hands out a lot. So be careful if you just have that, you know. Yeah, you got to get some water, that's for sure. You know, if you can find that, because some of the stores, to be honest, the shelves are bare. And I mean, every time they get a truck, they're getting fewer and fewer things like water, like regular hand soap. Um, Fewer and fewer over the counter meds are coming in some of these stores, especially like Walmart, Costco, Sam's. I've been going all around, and I've been looking to pick up certain little things, you know, like extra stuff. But hell, I can't pick it up if I can't find it, you know. Last week, well, 2 Fridays ago, well, one no, last week, not this past Friday, but Friday before last, I went to 15 stores in a 60-mile radius. And I came back with like one little bag of stuff, just little here and there. And it was amazing because that was including a Sam's, several Walmarts, Tractor Supply, um, Kroger's, Rite Aids, Walgreens, CVS, Publix, uh, auto parts stores, Auto Zones, Advanced Autos, O'Reilly's Autos, all of those places. And I came up pretty much almost empty-handed. I had one little bag of shit, and it wasn't much at all. Um, you know, I already had some water. I'm thinking about getting some more water, maybe another case or two, who knows, or some gallons. Um, it's just a mess. I mean, when you go into these stores, yeah, it's really serious, Tim, for real, for real. When you go into those some of these stores, you get so fucking overwhelmed looking at the empty shelves until you scratch your head. You don't know what the fuck to do. You know, I end up walking out. I mean, my anxiety is fucking through the roof. So, you know, I'm on here tonight. It's Sunday. It's not Wednesday. Like I said, I've had a lot on my mind. You know, some things, trying to gather my thoughts, trying to make sure that I'm good and have some things on hand that I can survive, you know, hopefully and prayerfully. All of my friends and family and my YouTube friends and stuff, and all of my subscribers will be able to survive this, because this ain't no joke, y'all. This ain't no joke. I don't give a damn how people try to say, oh, it's just some kind of conspiracy theory or tell you some bullshit. No, it ain't. It ain't. And then what are they not telling us? That's the rest of the story. What are they not saying? I mean, before long, they're not going to be able to say this is not a pandemic any longer in the next week or two. They're not going to be able to, because it's reaching just exponential numbers here. The numbers are constantly going up, and after a while, they cannot continue to say that it is not a pandemic. And that you ain't seen nothing yet until they announce that. Y'all ain't ready for that either. When they announce that it's a fucking pandemic in the United States of America, then that's when all hell will probably break loose. More than likely. You'll have motherfucking mass pandemonium. They was about to fight and tear down the fucking Costco's in several states. Just this past Saturday, last week, they were about to tear it down because they couldn't get the hand sanitizer and the rest of the shit they went in there for. Well, Tim, really, you know, I don't need really anything. It's just I'm just nervous of the fact whether or not, honey, and I really appreciate that, because God in heaven knows there's somebody on here and y'all see this YouTube or listening, and you let me know too if you need something particularly. that you don't have or whatever, let me know and I will ship it to you as well. But I don't need anything. It's just a matter of, am I comfortable with the amount of stuff that I have? I don't know. That's my question. Do I have enough? Do I have enough? There is a thing, I feel that, going overboard, but right now the fear of the unknown is we don't know for how long we might have to hold up in our houses. That's my thing. It's just I would like to get a little bit more hand sanitizer, but like I said, that it's out across the nation. I've tried some of my sources as far as places that I've got accounts with, like Uline and a couple of janitorial supply distributors. I mean, these places are fucking empty. Their supply just gone. I just don't know. When I look at what I have, like my alcohol, I got regular rubbing alcohol. I got about 6 bottles. I got about 2 of the 50%. I think I got 2 or 3 of the 70%. And then I got one of the 99% that's unopened. And then I got about 3/4 of another one that's 99% that is open. Water. I got water. I may pick up a few gallon jugs, probably 8 or 10 of those, if need be. But I probably have about, I don't know, about 30 gallons, 30 or 40 gallons. And it's just me. So if I had to, I don't drink quite a gallon a day. So, if I had to just drink a half a gallon a day, or, to keep hydrated and some other stuff, I can certainly do that. But yeah, it's rough. I mean, I was able to get a couple things through Staples at staples.com, looked up, and a couple of items were completely taken off my whole entire order because it was on back order. They ran out before I could finish paying for it, at the online. Office Depot is another place, you guys. I'm giving out some nuggets, so listen up. Office Depot and Staples, those places, a lot of times you wouldn't think, but yeah, they carry hand sanitizer. But then when the word started getting out, then people started jumping online and buying it all up from them as well. But they may have some stuff still in their warehouses that they're going to send into these stores. I have signed up for a number of email lists to email me when certain things come back in stock. And wherever I am, if I'm driving or whatever, I'm going to pull the fuck over. Trust and believe me. I'm going to get online. I'm going to try to order. I'm not going to be a shelf clearer, but I'm certainly going to order 1 or 2 for myself to, to add to what I have. But it's a trip. Auto parts stores carry hand sanitizer. Y'all, auto parts stores carry rubber gloves, things of that nature. They also carry N95 masks. They don't have large quantities, but then when people started thinking outside of the box, like myself, I was able to get some N95 masks from a couple of auto parts stores. And then I went to my storage unit, and I knew that I had a couple of packs, but they were only 2 packs. I mean, 2 in each packet. I did have 3 of those. So that gave me 6 more masks, and I was able to get 3 packs from the auto parts store. One auto parts store had 2 left on the shelf, so I grabbed those. And so I do have 12 masks for myself. But yeah, it's rough. It's rough, y'all. It ain't no joke. I don't know what's it gonna take and how this is gonna go. But I just feel that I'm on here and I'm telling everybody to go get what you need. Now is the time. Don't be waiting around talking about shoulda, woulda, coulda, oh, I'm gonna go or whatever. Dollar Tree, yeah, they carry dust masks, but they don't carry that N95. The regular particle mask I got on my blog, and I want you to go tell me, scoot over to my blog and check it out. I showed the difference, showed the mask you need, and I even put the fit test for the N95. You need an N95 mask for the simple reason that mask, once you fit it on your face, and each time you put one on, just the N95 mask, you need to do what's called a fit test. And that's to breathe in, breathe out, suck that mask in and suck it out to where it fits tightly around your nose and your mouth and squeezes up against your jaws around your face, and there's no gap. If you breathing in and out and you feel wind, then you have to redo that fit test, because that mask won't do you a bit of good. Okay, it'll let particles in. Now, here's the catcher with that. A regular particle mask doesn't fit tight enough around the face. So it has little miniature little gaps all around. So it will let little particulates in, whether they're the dangerous particulates from the coronavirus or who knows. I don't know what it might not let in. But with any mask, whether it's the N95 or just regular ones, not just your nose and mouth need to be covered, but however, there's particulates in the air, perhaps, and if you go without goggles, okay, listen to this. If you go without goggles, those particulates will filter down and will land on your eyebrows and your eyelids and eyelashes. Okay, so when you blink, perhaps you can, it can get in the eyes. If you haphazardly put your hand in your face and rub your eyes, boom, it's in your eyes. So the next thing you know, you done contracted something. So you need a pair of goggles as well. Myself, personally, I have a couple of pairs of goggles. I have a hard hat with several face shields that I can put on that hard hat and just lower that shield. So what that shield will do, because I wear glasses, goggles tend to pull my glasses out of focus. But if I had to use the glasses, I will. The goggles, I mean. But I would prefer using my face shield with my hard hat or with my baseball cap, and putting the mask on like that and using the face shield and my glasses. That way, hey, Aaron. I'm pretty good, Aaron. Hope you're doing well too. But if I had to use the face shield, at least my eyes are protected, because particulates through the air, you can't see them. Someone sneezes, you'll be surprised how far 6 feet or 8 feet that shit can travel. And the bad thing about this virus is the particulates stay on hard surfaces for up to 24 to 48 hours alive. So that's bad. So somebody could potentially sneeze, put their hand to their mouth, cover their mouth, and potentially go and open a door in a public place or a doorknob or press that elevator, and they got spit on their hand or these particles that land in their hand, and they transfer that to hard surfaces, and that shit stays on there for 24 to 48 hours. That's a mess right there. And I'm not telling you what I heard. This was on the CDC's website and on the World Health Organization's website. So I don't know. Population control, perhaps so. I really believe this was personally, I really believe that this shit was created in a lab and somehow the shit got out from the lab. I don't know what they were doing with it over there in China. Perhaps that's my take of it. And it got out, and now look what the hell done happened. I don't think it was developed here, in stateside or anything of that nature. I do think where it came from was where it came from, but I think it was in a lab. It was created in a lab. Because of the way the mutation process and how it's mutating so fast and so furious. That is my take on it. I don't know everything. I know a lot. I know a little about a lot of things, and I love to read. I read medical journals. I read all kinds of shit. But yeah, I think it was lab created, and I think the reason why they're having such a hard time and finding a cure or vaccine fast is because of the mutation. And anybody knows any little thing, or you can look up mutating. By the time, like I said, by the time they figure out something and they got an antidote, and then it's mutating again, then they have to start all over again from scratch. So, yeah, this ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. Yep, population control. Hey, Miss Monique, how you doing? Glad to see you on tonight. But I actually think that unfortunately, I don't think it was meant to get out. I think maybe somebody got mad, or I think something spilled perhaps, or spilled on someone. I don't know. And it got out. And here we are. This is truly a shit hit the fan case scenario. And I think it is here to stay for a minute. And the world as we know it right now will be forever changed. Will we all survive? I don't know. Am I afraid? A little scared? Yes, I am. Why am I afraid? Because there is still little known about this virus, and they're not saying it, but it's true. There's still so much that they don't know about it. You know, and that says a lot. You know, and with it mutating like it is, it's too much. You know, how is it going to end? When is it going to end? How are we going to stop it? You know, how many people have to die before they can find a cure? They're saying in another year or so they'll probably have a vaccine. Probably, you know, in another year or so. Yes, the scientist, the doctor that discovered the virus and actually went forward after they told him not to say anything, did. And unfortunately, supposedly, Miss Monique, he contracted the virus himself, but I don't think that was the case. I think they killed him. They probably injected him with something. Who knows? I don't know. Because, you know, China is a communist country. So who knows? Um, yeah, Aaron, exactly. Um, People scared to go out and enjoy themselves. Yeah. Unfortunately, for a little while, a lot of, you know, I mean, we don't want to just give up our lifestyle and our way of living, and we don't want to just shut everything completely down. But hell, if it means living or dying and catching something, I'd rather just stay in the fucking house for a minute, you know, and not go around large crowds, and not be around, you know, hundreds of people at a time, or, you know, crowded restaurants, crowded subways, this and that, the MARTA train, you know, yeah, I'd rather, um, because you just never know. We have some cases that have come here to Georgia that are here now, that we're battling ourselves. I mean, it's a mess. It's a fucking mess. Um, I don't think that buffoon or that fucker had Agent Orange had anything to do with it. But Lord, it's unfortunately, I wish, because he's so stupid. He says he thinks it's gonna just miraculously just go away one day. It's just gonna just go away. It's just gonna just gonna disappear. That's how stupid he is. Um, he said that last week sometime. I think it was Thursday or Friday when the motherfucker. I think he came here to the CDC in Atlanta. I don't know. I was hoping that they unleashed something on him when he got here, but I guess they didn't. I'm not sure. I sure wish, you know, it's unfortunate. I wish somebody would catch something, unfortunately, but you know, I ain't trying to wish that on nobody. But you know, if it was an accident or something, accidentally, kind of purposely or something, and then he would just go away. You know, but yeah, in Delaware, yep, y'all have y'all first case. I read that too. Texas, a lot of places. Um, yeah, still ended up getting out. That's right. Yeah, they always have a vaccine for something they create, but I don't think it was ready to get out yet. I don't think it was ready. So once it got out and got air, and once it started getting into systems, you see, that's when the whole this damn virus properties suddenly changed. So that is the $1 million question, Ms. Monique. Is it? I don't think that's why. I really think it was lab created, but they weren't ready for it to get out yet. Yeah, they had a vaccine, but once it got into people, you see, then it changed itself all of a sudden, and it started that mutating process. They weren't ready for that. They weren't ready for that. So their vaccine, that little vaccine that they had, don't work. Guarantee you. Oh, they had one. They always have one, sure, but it don't work. It didn't work. So their people paid the ultimate price. Plus now Italy this morning, y'all shut down one of their richest provinces, and that's off the Milan area, which is one of their richest areas. It's got so many people infected over there, and it literally happened like in like I think they said a 72-hour period. I mean, case after case after case, just I mean, just like I'm like, God damn. Yeah, I think so, but I think it'll probably be one of our scientists here in the US that will probably develop probably multiple vaccines or different things, because they're working feverishly. Because what scientists wouldn't want to get that prize? That's a Nobel Prize right there, and who wouldn't want to go down in history as the inventor of a vaccine to save the lives of humans in the US and abroad and everywhere else of the world? I mean, so yeah, a group of people will probably develop it and take credit for it. And I sure hope they can hurry up, because I don't see this. I don't see this getting any better, y'all, any soon. I see it potentially getting worse and worse to a point where, you know, like I said, the shit that we know as it of knowing now won't be ever be the same again, and that's really unfortunate. That's why I've always preached about prepping and being prepared. And the reason why I always said that was because living in Louisiana with tornadoes and especially hurricanes and stuff and floods, we always kind of had to be prepared. You always had certain things you kept on hand, always, always, always. And when you use them up or whatever, then you replenish them. And even living in Georgia now, still in the South, and there's floods and stuff here and a lot of tornadoes, I still manage to keep certain things always on hand. And I just have to, always have to do what I got to do. I'm always going to try to prepare whatever I can as best I can. But hell, right now, like I was saying to Tim earlier before the rest of you guys came on, Aaron and Ms. Monique, that right now I just don't know. I don't know if I got enough stuff. I don't know if I got enough water. I don't know if I got enough peroxide and enough isopropyl alcohol, and I don't know if I have enough canned goods and enough, beans and rice and grains. And I don't know. I don't know what is enough. What is that fucking magic answer? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. The more I look at things, and I'm looking at shit sideways, and I don't know. What is enough? Y'all tell me, what's enough, y'all? What's enough? I mean, we don't know that answer. Will this be enough? 30 or 40 gallons of water. Will that be enough for PG? I don't know. Yeah, it's very sad. Well, I know one thing, Tim. I hope the university starts to test And I hope the university where you are will call a meeting with faculty and staff and give you guys some kind of plan of action. And perhaps, because, yeah, that could potentially be deadly. Ms. Monique, it really is a sad situation. It's sad when you don't know what tomorrow will bring, because truly the folks in Italy this morning did not realize or know that they were going to be made to self-quarantine in their homes. And these people are ones that don't have the virus, and there's some who do. But thousands and thousands, I think it's hundreds of thousands of people in that little region that they made self-quarantine starting today. So it's going to be a matter, like I'm telling people, you may wake up in the morning and motherfuckers say bulletin, bulletin, bulletin in your state or your town or wherever you reside. And they come out talking about no one goes out, no one comes in, you can't go run to Kmart, Walmart, wherever the hell you trying to go. Talking about, I'm just going to go get me some groceries. Nah, if you ain't got none, we won't know what to tell you. But then martial law, here they come with some shit, That's why I'm saying get what you can, get all you can while you can right now, because I really feel that the day is coming real soon that if you ain't got it, you won't be getting it. Trust in the water. A lot of places have open water reservoirs, so it's very easy to put something in the water. That's for sure, and that's why I'm saying go gather you some water. If you need to go down to Walmart while you can and get you a garbage can and sterilize the hell out that can and bring that can inside, fill it up with some fucking water and put you a couple caps Clorox in there and top it up, seal it up real good. Take some plastic, put over the top, run some duct tape around it, put the top on it that you bought, then seal that with some duct tape and dare any one of your kids or your grandkids or whomever to touch it. That'd be an extra water reserve, for you. You can boil it, you can cook with it, you can do whatever you need to do. As long as you got a means to making a fire, you can boil some water. You can make a filter, if you have to. You can make some distilled water by pouring, get you a bucket, put a hole in that bucket, get you a pot, put a hole in the top of the pot, and run a piece of copper tubing from that pot to that bucket. Add that copper down in that bucket. Fill that bucket with some ice if necessary. Well, you will need a little bit of ice. Get some ice. Put some ice in there and a little bit of water. And as that vinegar heats up, as the vinegar heats up, what you're going to do is strip that copper on the inside and the green stuff will come out. You can pour that out completely. And then after that, what you got is when the little steam from that pot, y'all, goes and gets heating up that copper, when you put ice and a little bit of water, what happens is the reaction that you're going to get from that steam will melt the ice. But what happens is it'll take all of the salt and it'll divide that into several properties. And what you'll have is it will distill the water. You make it a homemade distiller. It costs you about $5 to make it, but it can be done. There's many, many ways. I could tell you all kinds of shit, but sometimes we just don't have time to do this stuff. Sometimes we procrastinate as people. We have jobs, we have things that we do, on a daily basis and different things, but if need be, you can do some stuff. But definitely you always got to make sure that you have a way to make a fire, y'all. That you have some matches, that you have a couple of big lighters, Even the little things that you light the what you call that, the damn grill with, barbecue grill, the little long little lighters, one of those. Have something to make a fire. Know how to make a fire. Roll up some paper real tight and different things. Get you some little kindling, some little sticks, some little twigs, whatever. Make a fire. Go buy you some, if you on a tight budget, go buy you some damn what do you call them candles? Them little not citronella candles, those little tea light candles, y'all. Go buy you a couple of packs of them, or even a pack. Okay? Take 2 bricks. Don't give a fuck where you get them from. Go, don't take them out your neighbor's yard. If you're out the backyard, go ask somebody for some. 2 bricks. Slap them damn bricks up on your fucking counter in your kitchen. If your lights and shit go out, get the goddamn oven rack out the oven. Or some of us have little toaster ovens too. Go get the damn toaster oven rack. Prop that shit on top of them 2 bricks with a couple of tea light candles, maybe in a little salsa or something. Yeah, you can boil some water. It might take you 20 minutes for that water to reach boiling point, but you can boil some water in a pot. You can wash dishes, or you can boil some water to cook with, or you can boil some water to wash your face with, or whatever you need to do. You can boil that water and turn around and let that water cool, and it'll be drinkable. Okay? There's a lot. So make sure you share this vlog. Make sure you go to my website or my blog at www.unapologetic-timewithpg.com. And there are some helpful tips and a lot of articles and things that you can read about, some know-how, some how-tos and different things, up-to-date current information. But yeah, it ain't no joke. Yes, we're definitely living in one of them end of the world case scenarios. Yes, we are. That's right, Aaron. We are definitely living in that time right now. It's just a lot going on, y'all. It's a lot. But I want everybody to be safe. I've given out a few nuggets, what I had, things that I know of. Don't procrastinate. Don't wait. If you can, if money's funny, money's tight, take your $5, take $10, borrow it from somebody, whatever. Get something to have, especially some water. Put some water in maybe some jugs. Go to any bakery shop or whatever. If you got a grocery store that has a bakery in it, or a deli, a lot of times they'll have 5-gallon buckets with tops. They'll give them to you, most of them, if you just ask for them. While your water is running or whatever now, hey, that's some free water that you have. Use that top it up. Put it in the closet. Put it in a cool, dry place where it won't get contaminated or whatever. That's water. If you can't buy it, you gotta figure it out. You gotta think outside the box sometimes. Everybody just doesn't have money to just run out and buy every little thing. Sometimes you have to use your noggin, that brain of yours. Sometimes you have to think outside the box, and we have to readjust, and we have to readjust accordingly, But we can make things happen. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. I just thank y'all for tuning in, and thank y'all for giving me the listening audience, and inspiring me to even come on. Sometimes it's hard, with depression and PTSD, and especially now, my anxiety is through the roof. Because like I said earlier during the show, I don't know if I got enough shit. I don't know. I don't know. I'm nervous. I got stuff. And don't get me wrong, y'all. I got stuff. I got more than enough, I think, for the average single person. But is it enough? I don't know. I might be lacking on one thing and have an over amount of one thing and not enough of something. I don't know. My nerves is real bad. Thank you, Ms. Monique. Thank you for tuning in. But I'm about to wind it up. It's a hour and a little over 4 minutes. I'm gonna get on out of here in the next 2 minutes. But I want to thank every one of you for tuning in. Miss Aaron, Miss Monique, I mean Mr. Aaron, Miss Monique, Tim. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all so much. It does inspire me to do better as a person and to try to give of myself. It doesn't cost anything to just to try to be helpful or to try to be knowledgeable. Everybody doesn't know everything, but the few things that I do know and the things that I do know, I don't mind sharing it because certainly we cannot live in this world by ourselves, and it's being proven every single day. Before it's over, we all gonna need each other. We all gonna need somebody to lean on, and what better way is our YouTube family here. I consider y'all my YouTube family, and I just want to share. If you can't use the information, hell, share it with somebody else. Somebody sooner or later, somewhere down the line, might be able to use some information. Take what you can, use what you can, leave the rest. Keep moving. All right, I appreciate that, Tim. All right. Well, it's 6 after the hour, and I'm gonna say bid y'all a good adieu. It's been great. I want y'all to be safe. Please be safe. Please promise that you're gonna do what it is you need to do for you and or your family. Please go out and try to gather up any supplies that you don't have or think that you need. Try to get them. And just above all, just be safe. Um, and hopefully and prayerfully we can all make it through this one, and we can look back later on this year and perhaps laugh about it. But right now, we just got to do our thing, y'all. All right. Good night. Good night, Tim. Y'all have a nice rest of your evening and be safe out there. Bye now.